Hi guys, I'm Laura from Cherubs Chalks Interiors. Welcome to our latest tutorial video where I'm going to show you my first ever striped furniture makeover. This was so much fun to create. This was actually a really dark and dreary piece to begin with, and my furniture supplier ended up giving it to me really cheap as he couldn't get rid of it. It was in need of a lot of TLC and I decided to give it a complete makeover. Originally it would have been used as a children's wardrobe, so it's got a rail on the inside and a number of shelves. The first thing I needed to do was give it a real good scrub. It was really quite dirty, so I used some white lightning, which I had mixed up into a spray bottle. I gave it a real deep clean and then I rinsed off with some plain water. Once it was dry, I gave it all a real good scuff sand using a 120 grit on my electric sander. Now, great prep is the key to a great finish, so I want to prime. I'm going to use Bond Emboss, which is going to block any stains and prime the wood ready for paint. I'm applying this with a roller as it's the quickest way to get it on. I will apply 2 coats of this all over the piece. Now it's time to mix up the base coat. I've chosen Sandbar, which is a gorgeous creamy neutral, and I'm going to mix this with some sea spray for a textured finish. I will just add small amounts until I get the desired consistency. I only want a small amount of subtle texture on this piece, so I'm not going to thicken up the paste too much. Here is the perfect consistency. You can tell how thick it is by how quickly it drips off the spoon. I'm going to use my best Stang brush, which is a large, round, natural bristled brush. This is great for creating texture, and it works quite quickly as you can put a large amount of paint on at a time. I'm now going to stipple the paint on. This technique is excellent at creating texture. If you apply the paint thickly and then dab the brush up and down on the surface, this is going to create texture as you pull the brush away. Don't worry about it being too textured, you can always sand it a little smoother once it's dry. I'm going to create the stripes using masking tape. This is quite a time-consuming, lengthy process, but it's worth it for that unique design. I'm creating this design by applying 3 strips of masking tape consecutively, and then I'm going to remove the piece in the middle. This will give an equally gapped pattern design, which I'm going to continue all around the front and the sides. Once I have all of the masking tape into position, I'm just going to make sure there are no air bubbles by firmly rubbing with a finishing pad. This will also ensure that the masking tape is firmly stuck. The next step is to simply roll on the same colour paint that you have used as your base coat. This is going to prevent any bleed through when you put the final coat on. Some people forget this stage, but it is so important to make sure that you get clean lines on your final design. Now that's all dry, we're going to go over with the main colour for the stripes. I've chosen Palmetto, which is one of my favourite greens in the chalk mineral paint line. I'm simply going to roll this on again, as again it is the easiest and quickest way, and I'm just going to go over the whole of the masking tape design. Of course, on the areas where the masking tape is, you'll be peeling that off and then that will reveal the stripes underneath. I applied 2 coats of Palmetto all over for full coverage. Now for the exciting part, the stripe reveal. I waited for the paint to be completely dry before doing this, to avoid any smudging as I removed the tape. Isn't that so satisfying to see all of those stripes being revealed? I also then sprayed this all with Easy Peasy spray wax to seal the paint. I just forgot to record it. Now it's time to work on the inside. It's in great condition, I just gave it a real good clean, and now I'm going to seal it all and also nourish that wood using some Big Mama's butter. There are a variety of scents that you can use to make this smell divine. Once I've applied this all over the interior, I tend to leave this overnight and then come back with a shop cloth and wipe off any of that excess. And here is the finished piece. I am so in love with those stripes. I don't know why I've never tried this before, but I can definitely see a lot of striped furniture in my future. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I'd love to know your thoughts and whether or not you've been inspired to create some striped furniture pieces of your own. So please let me know in the comments. I thought that the perfect use for this cupboard would be as a cloakroom cupboard, so I have styled it using my coats and shoes, which I think is the perfect little hideaway for these items. I also love those natural warm wood tones which can be seen with the cupboard doors open. The perfect combination with those gorgeous stripes. If you'd like to see more of our work, you can find us on all of the social media platforms at Cherubs Chalks Interiors, and you can subscribe here on our channel to get notified when we post our next furniture tutorial. Thanks for watching and see you next time.